Hey guys, and welcome back to Real Honesty with your girl KayReenea. Or if you're watching my YouTube channel, welcome back to Kay the Bookworm. In today's special episode, I've decided, since March is the Women's Month, International Women's Month, I decided to have all but nothing but women, Black women, of course, authors on our podcast, as well as my YouTube channel for my author spotlight, starting with a very, very special person that I just recently met about 3 months ago, signing with her company, Reign of Literature Publications, the COO of the company, Miss Aubree Pynn.
What up?
Hey.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I just got took the corona the vaccine earlier.
Oh, girl, I pray for you tomorrow because I hope you have no crazy side effects.
I hope not either, because like when I got home, it's kind of numb now, but when I got home, I went straight to sleep. I was supposed to be like, because I had a day, I got off early. I was like, all right, so I'm gonna go take this shot, blah blah blah. They made me wait like 30 minutes because I had food allergies, so they just wanted to make sure nothing was too bad or whatever. So I waited. Yeah. I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna eat, and I'm gonna get done and start writing. Nope, I went straight to sleep, and I didn't get up till like 3 o'clock, and I was so tired.
I believe it. It's crazy. My mom had it, and she was down for the whole weekend.
Yeah. I'm praying I don't have any side effects because I got to go back to work tomorrow, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Praying that you'll be good to go.
Yes. So, like I said before, guys, I found Aubree Pynn when I was looking up different types of publisher companies, and crazy to say, she was actually the first. I wrote her and another author that is currently not with us anymore. That's not on the publishing company anymore. But I remember writing Aubree, and I think I wrote the company first, and then I wrote her when I found her. And I was like, hey, I'm a new author, blah blah blah. I see that you're like part owner of Reign, and I want to know how can I be a part of it. And you was real down to earth with me. You weren't like very like snoozy or anything like that. You told me what I needed to do, I did it. And then 2, I looked in your collection because I've never heard of you before. And like, I'm being honest, I never heard of you. And I can't remember the first book I read. I think the first book I read was, it was during Christmas time. So I think the first book I read was Come to the Ghetto.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think that was the first book I read about you. And then I went coming down a rabbit hole. So I read this one, and I know you guys probably won't be able to see it, but I have, I'll probably put it in my thumbnail, but I have Corner of Olive and Oak, Purple, Come to the Ghetto, Kirsty with Love, When the Ball Dropped. This is another one that I read of yours. I just got done Because Love Said So Monday. I read this book in a day. And then I have the Forbidden Love, the series. And then on my Kindle, I think I have all your holiday shorts on my Kindle, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey, you got good taste, girl.
Thank you. So my first question to you is, how and when did you get started with writing?
Man, I think I've been writing since I was like 10. One, because I didn't have many friends, and I kind of needed an outlet, so I just started writing. And before I knew it, I think I had like 180 pages of just a story. I can't even tell you what it was about, but I know I had a story. I think it's probably gone away. And then from there, I just did it like low key and never ever told anybody. So it wasn't until, Sid knew, but it wasn't until like she bullied me into starting with a publisher that the world knew. And it was so funny because mom was like, I think it was after I had my son. My mom was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I'm writing a book." She was like, "Huh?" You right? I was like, "Yeah, I've been doing this." And then it just took off from there. Like, I think once I wrote Dope Boys, I never stopped writing and publishing.
Wow. Oh yeah, guys, if you guys did not know, she's also from South Carolina, just like me. Shout out.
Hey, 843 gang.
Yes. So my next
question, them Geechee Gullah girls was the best.
Hello. My next question is, were you signed to somebody else before you started Reign with Sydney? Sydney, or you were signed? Okay.
I was signed to BOP before Raina Book publications came into play. And of course, my contract was up with them, and I was indie for a while, and then of course, Sky again and her devices. She decided to create a publishing company, and was like, "Oh, here's what we're doing." I remember I was at work, and she kept texting me for certain things, and I was like, "Okay." And I was just giving it to her because it's my best friend, whatever. And then when she was done, she's like, "Oh, I just applied for our business license." I was like, "You want to tell me that?"
Just like that.
Just like that.
Wow.
Yes. You gotta love her.
Yes, I do. I love you. So the first book I want to get into, I believe, let me see. Let's do the one I just read. Because Love Said So.
Okay.
What made you write this book? First of all, let me just say this book definitely had me. I've never read a book where, like, you could say a one night stand turn love, because that's what I'm currently writing now, is a one night stand turn love. But to be having 4 different point of views in one setting and be so intrigued with all of them. My first question is, are we getting a story with Sasha and Thomas alone? Like a novella or something like that?
Probably not, honestly. Okay. I'm so far removed from it. Probably not.
Okay, because I really wanted more of their story. And I also wanted more of Preston's story too.
Yeah, that brother, man. He was something else. He had a life. He had a life. He had a sister that was willing to pay for everything. And all she just needed him to do was just to act right.
To me, I feel like he wasn't acting right though.
Yeah, because he was very.
Yeah, because every time everyone would ask him about like how school was going, he was like, "Oh, okay, it's cool. So in my mind, I was just like, "Is he really like? I know he's going to school, but like, is he really going to the classes, or is
he going to? Yeah, like is he actually going to the classes that she's bending over backwards to pay for? And even when it was like, hey, I have to work late, can you just sit with Grandpa? It was like a problem. Like Preston was spoiled. It's probably because Preston had always had Avion, and she was always providing for him, or Grandpa was always providing for him, that he just didn't take it seriously. Like, I think even with Grandpa dying, he didn't show as much emotion as somebody who appreciated things that somebody did for them would.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Like, he was sad, but at the same time, it was just like, oh, well, it's life.
Yeah. And it's probably because it's all probably because that Preston never had that foundation that Avion had, losing both parents and then depending on Grandma and Grandpa. And Preston kind of just came in, and Grandma and Grandpa was all he knew, but he was so emotionally detached from it that he just went on with his life the only way he knew how.
Yeah. Another question. Samson and baby mama. I was not expecting that twist.
Who, girl? When that book first came out, people were upset about that. Because they're like, this is a good Black man, and now he's falling into this. I'm like, if things happen. It's not like he didn't know that he didn't have a kid. It's not like he knew he had a kid and just like didn't take care of him. She decided not to tell him. And then she pops up years later, and he's like, damn, like I had no other choice but to take care of my child. But like, you couldn't tell me?
Yeah, that definitely took me for a shock, because when the girl popped with his like ex-fiance did pop up, I had to read back, and I was like, whoa. So I thought it was, like when I first read it, I was like, is this the assistant popping up saying that to the child? And then when I reread it, I said, oh, it's a fiance.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just say this. You wrote Samson to where even though his heart was broken, he wasn't broken.
Yeah. Because even with that, Samson was still the alpha male. Samson was that of what Avion was. So when he saw her, he kind of knew already, because they had kindred spirits. They were going through the same thing. Samson was taking care of a grandmother the only way he knew how. And Avion was in a job she hated to pay for the care of her grandfather and to put Preston through school. and barely taking care of her. So the brokenness of Avion was a wholeness of Samson, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. Because when he described about how the relationship, it did him looking like that, I love the fact that you didn't make him bitter or just say fuck love. But on Thomas, it was like you could tell, even if you didn't write it, you could tell that he's had his heart broken before. So that's why he's on his just fuck these chicks and dip type of thing. But when he met Sasha, all of that changed because Sasha didn't give him what he wanted. Like he actually had to work for it.
Yeah. Sasha gave him the run for his money.
And Sasha also was just I kind of not saying I kind of saw myself in Sasha a little bit. And I saw myself in Avion a little bit. And Avion was because she's always make sure everybody else was fine than her. And I used to do that too, making sure everybody was straight, everybody had what they needed before I did. But Sasha, it was just even though you could tell she wanted love, she was just very scarce with her heart. So she'll basically sabotage something that was good in order just to make her happy.
It was almost like Sasha had emotional PTSD, where I want somebody to love me, I want this, but I'm afraid to let somebody do it because I can't afford my heart to be broken again.
Exactly. That's how I felt. So when Thompson actually confessed his love, she ran off, and I was thinking you were gonna do a couple of months. You need a whole year. And let me just say this too: Thompson is a good man. I don't know any man that will wait a whole year.
Man, she had him stuck.
To be
imagine ducking and dodging somebody for a whole year though, and you know that y'all friends together. You know the work that goes into that.
That's a lot. And they were married on top of that.
Yes, there's so much work that goes into this.
And you're just I'm gonna wait. You could play this game now, but just know I'm coming back. And he came back. That scene in the bedroom, my God.
Thomas had to show her, listen, you think this is a game? It's not a game. He's not playing with you.
I'm gonna go ahead and hop into what my title is about. And this is the Getting Hills collection. Let me just say, if Getting Hills was real, I would move there.
I would be the mayor of Getting Hills if it was real.
I would move there.
I love this.
This whole collection, I read all of them in within a week span. I read, like I said, Olive and Oak. I read Red, which has my husband Cashmere in it. Purple, which was to me one of besides this one, I definitely could say A Wicked Christmas by Sky. Those two, that book and this book definitely was the epitome of enemies to lovers, for sure.
Yes, I love Wicked Christmas.
Green, God, what was the other one? Come to the Ghetto, Gangsta Lovin', Pressure that just came out, and Gas Station Drug Money.
That's my favorite one.
We're gonna get into that too. We're gonna get into that. And then you also have some other ones that's coming out. So what made you create an entire neighborhood? And also what type of things did you have to accomplish and to make sure all the stories connected? Because for me, as you know, Close to You is in a fictional city, and granted, the one I'm working on now doesn't really incorporate Jones Hills. I do want to come back because some of the main characters are from there. So how did Getting Hills get created in your mind?
Honestly, I got tired. I was on the phone with Sid, of course, and I was like, I'm so tired of researching places and being correct with places, because somebody's gonna be from this place, they're gonna tell me that street is not by the street and that restaurant doesn't exist. I don't want to do this somewhere. So I was like, guess what we're about to do? We're about to create our own cities and they're about to cross over. Okay. And that's how I went. And then in the midst of creating an entire city, it was like creating an entire world, because you have, just like any other place, you got the hub, the ghetto that everybody loves to go to because it's culturally flourishing. then you have the metropolis, populous, and then you have the little richy part. You got small town. So it's like this creates the whole thing. So you can keep it endless. You can create whatever businesses you want. You don't have to say that this street is about this street without looking it up. I was spending hours looking stuff up instead of writing. It was annoying. So I just was like, okay, Ganton Hills, let's do it. Ganton Hills, Glendale, Whitestone Falls, which you're about to see in this upcoming book that comes out this month, and Lavendale.
Sheesh, all of them?
And I'm actually, the cover I dropped in my group today, that's actually a Lavendale, as I would say, a Lavendale casual romance book.
You are doing the damn thing. Golly. Oh, here it is. I see it. Pretty Little Lies. This is a nice cover. Sheesh, I'm ready.
Which one is it?
The Pretty Little Lies one?
Yes, it is. And somebody in my group mentioned like, oh, I like those earrings. And then I went and found the earrings. And I was like, yep, every paperback book, like whenever it first comes out, we'll get a pair of earrings. Bam.
Yeah, definitely dope. Definitely dope. So my next question is, as you know, when you guys don't know, there was a little panel that happened about kind of like sometime last month where the people on the thing were Black. I will say that. And we're basically bashing Black romance.
But talked a whole hour and a half about dragons.
And I was at my aunt's house, and I remember coming back home, just getting on Twitter, just to get on. And I see like all the authors that I follow, all the book reviews, people that I follow just going in. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I DM Nicole Falls, and I was like, Nicole, tell me what's going on. And she sent me the link. And when I listened, I didn't even listen halfway. I was just like, what the fuck?
It was disturbing. Like from the beginning till the part where she don't want nobody buying gas stations with drug money. Like it was just disturbing and disgusting. I was disgusted, honestly. Truly.
But the thing is, though, Aubree, you turned that negative into a positive, and you wrote a book entitled "Gas Station Drug Money." That was number one the next day. Like the following day, you released it.
Yes. So I wrote that book in a day.
I want to know, because there's this stigma on Black love being, and I talked about this a little bit on my last podcast, and there's a stigma of Black love just being nothing but urban fiction. Granted, I was in that circle of just reading urban fiction books because that's all I knew. I also knew Ashley Antoinette because I'm a huge fan of hers, her husband. I kind of have half of their collection on my bookshelf. And, but during quarantine, because, we had nothing else to do, and shout out to Tiffany, she expanded my reading to where going to the book festival here in Charleston, the Young Adult that they have. I met, other artists, stuff like that. But she expanded my reading into the indie world, and now that's basically all I read. Granted, I still love Ashley Antoinette, and I still purchase her books, stuff like that. But now I will prefer to pick up a book by you or Sky or Nicole or Alexandra Warren, Tay Monet, than pick those up. And I feel as if Black romances are only stuck in the urban world when that's not true.
Yeah. See, and the thing is, when I first picked up a book written by a Black author, it was urban romance, right? So I was introduced to this wonderful world of urban romance, and I was like, okay, there has to be more. So then, of course, I went and searched and found Black women's fiction. I found Black romance, Black contemporary romance, and I was like, okay, yeah. And also, just growing up in a Black family, you see it, It's just, we experience love different. Like, we see that coming up. No matter what situation, then you see it. So you write a book about your experiences, and to hear a group of women say that they cannot connect with that is very disheartening, because I'm trying to understand, did you live? Did you grow up around Black people? Because my aunts and uncles talk like this. We go to cookouts. I've seen this. You don't have to necessarily be from the streets to understand it.
It's not even that. It's just the simple fact that And I'm not bashing them at all because, like I said, they came back and they apologized, even though I think the apology was kind of
Girl, I didn't even see the apology, and I didn't want to see the apology. I'd already pulled my trigger by then.
I feel as if they waited too long, but that's just me.
Of course,
we're not gonna get into that. But the thing is, for me, when you're doing a panel like that, you have to be very, very like not. I can say strict on who you want to do. Like you can't pick people that say, "Oh, we're going to talk about Black romance," when some of the viewers don't even really do Black romance, don't even read about Black romance, or don't even go on their channel and talk about Black romance. Granted, I knew one of the persons that was on there because I let her read my book. I let her read Close to You, and that was a Black romance book.
Yeah,
and she liked it. So I think that was the most heartening thing to me because I let you read it. Like I kind of quote unquote grew a connection with you. Because you were writing your own book, and I know like you're a big time booktuber in the booktube world. I'm still small, but I'm growing, and I let you read my book. And for you to say to me, "Oh yeah, it was cool. I liked it." Blah blah blah. Like I see the story. I see where it's going. And then for them to, bash it out, bash love, like this, bash Black romance altogether, it's just like, whoa.
I don't write cookie cutter romance. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but there are people who write cookie cutter romance, and you can read your cookie cutter romance if that's what you want. But you should know that every Black author who writes romance writes the stories in which they know, in which they come to them. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that there's anything in my catalog that's cookie cutter, because personally, I feel I do not like cookie cutter romance. I think it's boring. It puts me to sleep. I don't want that. I don't know that. I don't want that. But to each their own.
Yeah, but I think of it like this. When you come to Black romance, and what they were saying, how everything's the same. It's like you're going to a grocery store and you see a chip aisle. You want chips, but you don't know what style you get. It's like Black romance. Like people, like I'll say this: if you could give somebody, be like, I want you to write about a one night stand, and you give it to every Black author that writes Black romance,
it's gonna be different. Each story is gonna be different.
Exactly, you're going to get each story that's different. Every story is not the same. My story isn't the same from your story.
We can all write the same theme of a book, you know what I'm saying? But it's all going to be different. It's going to be different. It's going to be based on, however, there's plenty of Black romance authors who write office romance. But Nicole Falls' office romance is different from Christina C. Jones, which is different from Alexandria Houses, and it's different from Alexandra Warren, and it's different from all these other people. Like, it's going to be different. It's not the same.
I agree.
I think you need to, I feel that one, because it just feels like people get to the Black romance to decide that they're just going to bash these women and men who put their all into this. Like, even down to, I read a review that said that I was exploiting Black romance because I was just writing trash. And I was just like, oh, okay, bet. I don't know how that is true, because it's not like I'm a white woman writing Black romance, but whatever, girl. I just feel like when it comes down to the brand of Black romance, it is our job as women and men who write in this genre, who love this genre, to protect it at all costs.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I fired back with Gas Station Drug Money, because I was like, it don't matter, whichever way it comes in, it's fucking relatable. Period.
It was about a gas station and drug money, but the plot of the entire book was totally different than what the title assumed.
Exactly.
Which was amazing. And that's why when you posted it, everybody was just like, if, like I said, that's what I wrote in my review of my Instagram. I was just like, the last one, if you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was a dope concept. But it just, like I said, for me, watching, I didn't really watch it. I didn't really watch the whole thing because I was just that disgusted. But just them doing that, it was heartbreaking. And I said, I'm not bashing it whatsoever. I'm just giving you guys my opinion. It was heartbreaking.
It was terrible.
It was really heartbreaking.
It was terrible. And I do hope that my outrage with what was done was heard out and clear.
I believe it was. Trust. Definitely believe that it was.
In the most classy way I knew how to do it.
Hello. So my next question is, and I think this is just more for me, just the reassurance. And I don't think I've asked you nor Sky this question, but I just wanted to know, what was it about me and my writing that you guys wanted to sign me?
First of all, you're hungry, and that's what I look at. Like when we get submissions, it's not necessarily about how well they can write or how the story pulls me in. It's about, is this person ready to learn? Are they hungry, and are they gonna go get it? That's how I look at it. And I read your submission, and I was like, I already talked to you beforehand, and I was like, she's ready to go get it. Like that's just all I need. It's just like if you were a rapper, right? Now you don't have to be the best rapper, but if you're hungry and you want it, you're gonna go get it, and you're gonna be a superstar in it. And I just think that I look for the qualities in the people we find that I have, that drive, that hunger to go get it, the no excuses, the let's go. So that's it. You was ready.
Period. I'll take
and
that.
You was ready to learn, and you ask questions because you want to learn, and you keep going. And you're open to be teachable and coachable, and that's like the biggest thing. And I'm not saying I know everything, but I know that you have to be coachable. Like you have to be willing to learn. And if you're not willing to learn, then I can't help you. Because this is not, like I've said a million times, for me, it's not a money game. I'm not here to make millions off of you and work you like a slave. That's not my goal. My goal is to help you learn, help you understand this industry so that you can fly and be good on your own.
That's very true. I do agree with you. And with you, and I told people before when asking me how, like, how my publishing house, whatever, I tell them they're crazy as hell, but at the same time, they will push you.
Oh, we crazy. Yeah.
They will push you to be the best people you could be. And they will not stop until they know, all right, this is where you in at. And I feel as if as a new author, especially for me, somebody that just wrote just because, not saying because you had nothing else to do, but just because like I wanted to write a book, but at the same time, I didn't know where to go. But I was going to do self-publishing at first, but then thinking about it, I was just like, yeah, I don't know how what I should take out, or if this is competitive, blah, blah. So when I looked for publishing houses, I knew I wanted somebody that was going to be coachable, somebody that I knew that I could talk to outside of just coming to them for writing purposes, and also get that one-on-one if need be. So when I found you guys on Facebook, I was like, I've never heard of this company. Let me go check. So like I said, I DM'd another person, and I went and read, some of you guys' people that's on the list books, and I was just like, yeah, I could see myself with them.
Yeah, it's a family dynamic. We are crazy. Yes, that is true. I don't think that's a secret anymore. I came in trying to be as sweet as possible, you know what I'm saying? But things happen. You sometimes got to bring the crazy out. Once my crazy comes out, it don't go away. So it's here to stay. But it is very imperative. I can't even talk no more. It's very imperative that the space that we have created is safe. And I think that we have made the necessary steps to ensure that. We want to make sure that you all are growing and connecting and establishing yourselves and your brands in the most safest space. You don't have to compete for a spot. You don't have to compete for attention. You don't have to work yourself to death to produce a manuscript in 30 days. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just believe that And I know Sky does too, we provided the safest place that we know in the industry for people to grow, because this is just like the music industry, with dog eat dog world out here.
Yes.
And if I could, what's the word I'm looking for? If I can in any way facilitate safety, learning, and growth, I'm always going to do this, because I know what it feels like to be on the other side of that.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, that's one of the reasons why I definitely signed with you guys, was because of that. And I just want to say thank you. I've already told Guy this plenty of times, but I just want to say thank you to you for giving me a shot, because never in a million years would I ever thought that when I type on Amazon and I type my author name, that that book would come up.
Yeah.
Like, it still shocks me today when I just go on Amazon and I know when my book pops up just randomly. And
bro, I still get hyped when Amazon suggests my own books to me.
I don't care when suggests to get to that part.
Like, wait a minute, that's me.
And like I said, I know it's real. But I feel as if once I get that paper book in my hand,
mm-hmm.
that's when I'm be like, all right, I did the damn thing. Now it's time to go. Now it's time to go hard.
Yeah,
so
you're gonna get there, and I'm going to love watching this journey, as well as all the other girls. I'm gonna love watching this.
Let me just say, I love my Pynn sisters to death. I love them to death.
So,
even though they're crazy.
Yeah, they are hilarious.
I love my babies to death. Do you have any, before we leave out of here, because I know you have a Clubhouse event. So if you guys are on Clubhouse by the time you're listening, by the time you listen to this, already off. Never mind. Do you have any more works that you're doing that you could talk?
So currently, I have to take a break from Gangsta, because when I get back to it, I need to be on a fresh slate, because Gay Lagoon, my heart is so complex that I need to step away from Gantt Hills for a second. So currently I'm crazy again, and I'm writing 3 books, but 2 are novellas, so it's okay. There's Pretty Little Lies that's coming, that I'm currently working on. There are 2 small little casual romance books that happen after that, and then we get right back into Gantt Hills, and we get to Beatsville, and we get to Dom and Sarai in Gantt Hills. And I think before the year closes out, I do want to at least get 1 sports book out from the series. So that's my goal. That's what I'm doing now.
So we're looking at about maybe 8 more books before the year's out.
Maybe 8 more if I have it in me. If not, there's 2. Hold on, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 big, 4 novels, and then at least 2 to 3, about 8, 2 to 3 novellas or short. So yeah, about 8 asterisk, give or take.
That's crazy.
Lord willing.
That's crazy. I think you'll be able to accomplish that, because you say you got us, and that's going to push you until you do. So yeah.
Y'all don't let me quit, because I try to quit and y'all tell me
no.
So.
Of course not. No, we need you. So my last question, final question, is for anybody that, and I ask all my authors this whenever I interview, for people who want to write, what is your advice? That's the people that say oh, I want to start writing, but I don't know where to start, or I don't know, I want to ship this out, but I don't know who to go to. What's your advice?
So the first thing to it, if you want to write, just do it. It's no ifs, ands, or buts. You want to write, you do it. You write that story however it comes to you, whichever way. You create relationships that stays places, that you can have people who, my thing is, I try. Doesn't really work, because sometimes I'm recluse, but I try to connect with people who know more than me. because I can't be the only person in the room who knows the most. So I try to connect with people who know more than me. So if you run across a NACO, and I'm just going to put this out there, NACO is a great coach. And she prides herself on coaching independent authors. So if you need some help, NACOexpo.com, go ahead and book your consultant and get your stuff going. Little shameless plug there. But you want to connect with people who know more than you. You want to reach out to publishers. You also want to watch how the publishers. Okay, I'm getting emails from paper. I'm sorry. You also want to watch how the publishers interact with their authors to know if you found a good home for you. Connect with editors, connect with graphic designers, connect with people who have been doing this for a while, so you can get your foot in the door. And then, just like any other job, build your connection and learn and just do it. There's no other way to do it but to do it.
Like I said, I tell everybody the same people, like every author I've talked to say the same thing. If you want to write right, there's no wrong, no out. Think of it as a grocery store. When you want to buy your favorite chip, there's different varieties and brands.
Yep.
Everybody's not the same. So, Aubree, where can people find you at?
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all at Aubree Pynn. If you like to purchase any books, www.apxcb.com. That's only if you want me to sign it. If you don't want me to sign it and you don't want to wait for me to ship it, you can always go on Amazon.
Hello.
And there you go.
I will put all of that in the description below, guys. Once again, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at KTheBookworm_. Author pages, Author KayReenea, all one word, on Instagram and Twitter as well. Make sure you buy my book Close to You, which is on Amazon as of right now. Amazon Kindle. Paperbacks will be on the way. Hopefully, I'll know by Friday everything would clear. So hopefully by next week, I've had my copy, and then I will launch my website, and then you guys can order your copy if you want a signed copy by me. If not, like I said, you could go on Amazon and get it too. And make sure you are subscribed to the channel, which is Kay the Bookworm. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys want me to talk about more information when it comes to writing or just my book in general, please let me know in the comments below. Just know that you guys will be getting another episode of Author Spotlight coming probably next week, Monday, because on Sunday, I'm interviewing two of my Pynn sisters. Day and Indigo will be on it because Indigo has her book, A Lasting Flame, which is a novella coming out on Saturday. And then Day has the re-release of her book, which is called Unfinished, on St. Patrick's Day, which is Wednesday. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for that interview because that one's going to be a long one as well. Once again, thank you, Aubree, for joining me. I appreciate it.
You're so welcome.
And until next time, guys, have faith, have confidence, love you, always, always be you. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.